So there you go. Oh, alright. I was gonna say something, but my mind went blank. Alright, so yeah, this statement here, just go and present the medical record.
Yeah, I figured. I just like to read it out.
Yeah.
Yes! Yes! And the music goes off. The awkward.
Yeah.
Well, I think,
And what are you withering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer?
I wish I could. But first and foremost here, I'm the accused.
Ryunosuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it.
Thanks, Kazuma.
I could see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposely, you knew exactly what it was you wanted to say.
Huh.
Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking.
Alright. Thanks for the advice.
I'm hoping the power doesn't go out. It just started raining all of a sudden, and it's also thundering out there, so we'll see how this goes.
I mean, if you have technical issues, we can pause it and then come back to this later.
No. Well, we can keep going.
Alright.
Really?
Furukuda-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim.
Ah, I see. And I don't see. What of it, boy?
Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement, something clearly doesn't add up. Dear me. Have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. But let's see if I can explain it in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may have not done before that time is completely irrelevant.
Is it now?
But that's,
Remember, Ryunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point.
Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There's surely no need to prolong this trial further.
Hmm.
The witness testimonies the court has heard have been clear and concise. This medical report has no bearing on the matter at all. The simple reason that there is no one else besides this pale-faced pupil who could have possibly perpetrated the crime.
There we go.
This medical report has nothing to do with the case? You really believe that? What? That outburst petrified me, boy! Of course I believe it! How can it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because the Hoda Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic! A dental...
You dumbass!
That supposed to mean something to me? Perhaps if I told you that the victim just had a tooth extracted?
Oh, what's this now?
And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating... I love... Just what are you trying to say, cadet? He had orders not to eat, so what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't. Furukuda-san.
What, boy? What?
As you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all.
No.
Additionally, there's more. You have assured the court that, with unwavering self-confidence, that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case. Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic. Ah.
Expertly done, partner.
Okay, this is an epic moment. I actually have a bit of goosebumps, no joke.
Hell yeah.
What is this nonsense? You little upstart.
I imagine the music has something to do with that.
That too, yes. The atmosphere, the music, everything is just making this perfect.
The games all have a really good like making your first true objection feel really good.
These are baseless accusations. Just look at the photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table.
Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic?
How dare you?
I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned. Wouldn't you agree, Ryunosuke?
Yes, most definitely.
So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who in fact was eating the pictured beefsteak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, Consul.
I am after I say. I'm sorry, I just have to.
Also, yes, it is auto-saving. I see that.
I see that too, yeah. Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it?
Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of you turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of.
Got it. So, person eating steak at the victim's table must have been...
The victim himself, me, the two witnesses, and an as of yet unknown third party.
I think I'm gonna go with the as of yet unknown third party.
Alright. Because we just got done establishing the victim himself couldn't have done it, and we damn sure weren't eating it, because we weren't over there.
Yeah. Obviously, it can only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table. Objection. Do not let this go, will you? There was no such person. Yes. There was, because I saw her.
When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on this table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial, relentlessly.
Awesome.
Turning me on, man.
Yeah. There's just so much, like...
Yeah.
This is like the most yaoi shit I've ever seen. Like, they could be butt fucking and it'd be less gay.
Yeah.
God damn. Your take on the government?
Don't worry, Counsel. I have no issue with you.
What do you mean?
I have issue with them, those two witnesses in the stand. What?
What are you talking about?
We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. I'm sorry if you can hear the thunder out there.
It's all good. I hear it a little. Perjury?
And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing. Complicit in murder? No!
Hold it. Negative! There was no mention mention of this at the tactile meeting. I was just following orders.
That's right, as the man says. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they, told us.
I love how they just blurted that shit out.
Oh.
What?
So sure enough, there was someone else over there. And it was a woman.
What'd you just say, Kurakuda-san?
Oh, no.
You were just following orders?
Now hold on, lad. I was, Say you never saw the gentlewoman? When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas?
What? What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair? Just one. Just one simple slip of the tongue.
Sorry, it doesn't fly here. Order. Council, explain what is going on here. It's painfully clear and clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth.
Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this. Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut?
Well,
That's classified.
So you're prepared to be tried as compared to the murder, are you?
Who wouldn't? This can't be happening.
Ryunosuke. Judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Ouchie had any idea about it.
What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It could have only been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose.
Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can confirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit.
We need to name whoever it was that tried to make the mouth shut.
Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here.
But how? How can we possibly...
Remember how we made progress before?
Before?
We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result.
Oh yes, that's right.
Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose. I want answers. If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe.
Please, wait. Your Excellency. I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god. I knew nothing.
And what does the defense have to say about all this?
Well, Your Excellency. No time to think. Is it time to bring up the court records?
Yeah, if you want. So just, remember, anything with a magnifying glass you can examine here. So that's all stuff we've already seen.
Yeah, all stuff we've already seen.
Photograph?
Seen this, but
Yeah, I've already seen that.
just making sure.
This plan of the restaurant raises a number of questions, I think.
Definitely.
It's supposed to show the relative position of everything in the moments following the incident. But there's nothing to show the woman you say you saw there.
Exactly. That's not all. Look here in the upper left, where it says kitchen.
Oh, yes, what of it?
No one would use those complicated characters to write kitchen, especially not if they were in a hurry.
You mean you don't remember those characters yourself, don't? Or you mean you don't remember those characters yourself, don't you? Study harder, Ryunosuke. Alright. And remember, you can rotate evidence, too.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I did click it again, but... Oh!
Well, that's unexpected.
What is?
Look, do you see it says the witness's name here? Satoru Hosonaga.
Well, yes. Business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point.
It's not the name that's unexpected. It's his job title.
His job? Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga. Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector. What on earth? I have no idea.
But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. But they're wielding it somehow here. And there you go.
Yeah. So that one.
So that's all you really have to. Well, I mean, you can keep examining stuff if you want. You found your answer. You found your answer.
I just
Yeah,
want
that's
to be
fine.
as thorough as possible. See if there's any bonus shit.
That's fine. Yeah.
Because I know that this game, even though it's a visual novel, has bonus shit.
Yeah, it does.
No time to think. I'm just gonna have to close my eyes and shout out the first thing that comes into my head. As the prosecution, my person with a secondary influence to manipulate the witness is Toru Hosonaga.
Yes!
Well, surely that would be Toru Hosonaga-san.
Hosonaga-san, the waiter who took the stand earlier.
Poppycock. What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not have possibly have that level of influence.
For once, I would agree with you. If, that is, the man truly were a waiter.
If he truly were...
Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. The truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san's real identity as proven by this evidence.
Present.
Yes!
Plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question? I agree it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure we can conclude anything.
Sorry, Your Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest.
I beg your pardon.
Or perhaps I should have said the front? Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That is where the telling detail is.
Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say? Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of the business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession, his true profession. The waiter's profession, but that's surely... Good gracious. That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau.
What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before?
The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen the foreign gentlewoman at the scene?
Well...
Oh?
Oh.
Hi?
I love the music that's playing here right now. For him.
Yeah.
Inspector Hosonaga.
I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. What? Okay. Yes. We've already seen this.
Yeah, but honestly, I love how it's all coming together. Like, I knew the guy was suspicious at first, because...
Yeah.
So, I'm questioning my original thoughts. A little.
Yeah, but prepare to do that a lot throughout this game.
Because I thought he was the original murderer.
Yeah, but it turns out he's actually trying to cover for someone else.
Yeah, as I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card.
I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake.
So, you mean to say you really are a detective? But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course. Your salary must be terrible.
I was working undercover.
Okay, that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh my god, I'm sorry. That was perfect comedic timing.
Yes.
Undercover. Yes.
Yes. There have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at a restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to the case of homicide. Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga. Would you elaborate on one point for the court? Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner, therefore I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you require these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Correct, Your Excellency.
Unbelievable.
As I suspected. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim had sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately acceded out the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then that I received some special orders.
Special orders? You mean to say...
Remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders.
But what if this Englishwoman was the killer?
I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment.
I love that, like, I'll let you see. What?
An Englishman has been murdered on our soil, so name an Englishwoman as its primary suspect.
Yeah, I mean, I love the political tension right now of, like, We just aren't gotten to good terms with Britain. So, for this...
We don't want to piss them off right away.
Yeah, no. But they're trying their hardest not to accuse someone, even if they could be the murderer.
Yeah. Well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case.
But it's not right.
That's a way to throw the case into a loop.
Yeah.
Or for a loop, rather. One possibility does spring to mind.
What do you mean, Kazuma?
Yumi University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young Englishwoman.
What?
You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour.
I love that you can see the stuff, like, all the little side stuff, like the
yeah.
guy shaking.
They're both freaking out.
And Ido, like, just pulling his dad's mustache.
Yeah.
And that's his way of freaking out.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice. You mean...
When I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. She is indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of Yumi University's medical faculty.
What? What is happening here?
I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of their testimonies. It must now be up to your excellency to decide how to deal with the situation. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
But Your Excellency, that means missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send the telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be displeased by such actions.
Calm yourself, Consul. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes, sir. You will locate this Giselle Bratz and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency.
But that means simply going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau.
As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly.
So, it won't be a problem?
Nothing will get in my way.
This guy's gonna die of like some... before something.
Court will adjourn briefly. Prosecution must call the English student, Giselle Brett, to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear?
Yes. Your Excellency!
Good. Then we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. Okay, so that comes the end of this first little segment.
Okay, so there's multiple segments to the case.
Yes, there's multiple segments to every case.
Okay, so I think this is a good time to cut it off here.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys for watching. This has been the GreatRieck.
This has been Dell.
And we'll see you guys for the next part of this case, whenever that'll be.
I mean, I'm gonna be going if you want to.
Well, I'm saying I gotta go prepare dinner and stuff.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, and also I've got to start cutting these 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 10 minutes into multiple parts.
Okay.
Because I'm doing like 30-minute segments aside from the
Right.
intro part. It's gonna be a bitch to edit this. So
Yeah.
either way, if you like my channel, if you like what I see here, please leave a like, a comment, subscribe, donate in the tip jar down below.
Of course.
And also feel free to check out my Dark Deity, Final Fantasy streams, and Fire Emblem streams happening every weekend.
Yes.
So until then, we'll see you all next time.
Godspeed.
Godspeed.